Hey guys, welcome to lesson number 5. Now we have everything set up, so all we need to do is to create the materials and the lighting. So let's begin with the materials on this lesson. Go to Octane tab, go to the Live Viewer window, and you will have this window, the Live Viewer. Now click here on this button so that you can see how it's going to look the final render. Now the first thing that we are going to do is to create a plane. You can go to create object and then select plane, or just go here and click on plane. Now this plane, let's select this. Let's turn off the camera for now. Take the plane and make it really big, especially really wide. Alright, now go to object and orientation, click on plus C. Now let's bring this far away, but behind the typography, the text. Turn off the camera now, and let's make this bigger, like this. Alright, it's just that I want to have a background, but we are going to create the lights and I don't want the lights to hit on the background, so that's why I'm placing the plane really far away from the text, so that we don't see any reflection from it. So you can call this background. You don't have to place it on the bottom, but well. Now let's open again the live viewer. Go to materials and select, you can select any material. Let's select closing material and let's choose a black color, maybe not entirely black, maybe like a really dark gray, or maybe a really dark blue, like this. And go to specular and remove the specular so that we don't have any reflection. And well, you can actually disable all of this and just leave the diffuse. Alright, and now take this material and drop it into our background, so we will have this. If you want, you can make it a little lighter, just a little bit, and that's it. Okay, now it's time to create the other material for the text. So go again to materials, Octane glossy, and now let's first take this material and let's drop it into the text. Now to do this, we don't have to set a material for each and every one of these capsules. All you have to do is to take the material and drop it inside of the capsules group. So everything that is in this group will be on this material. So that will save you a lot of time, of course. Now open up your material editor. Let's make a little bit smaller. And on diffuse, I'm going to click here on texture, and I'm going to select a gradient. Now for the gradient, on default you can see that it's black and white. Now let's click here on gradient and let's change this color. I want to select, for the first color, I want to select an orange. click OK, and now double click on the right color and select a yellow tone. Click OK. So we will have this nice color. Now on the live viewer of Octane, let's choose a daylight. We won't use a daylight for the final render, but we can use it now to see how the colors are acting. Click here and make this daylight more powerful, like this. Okay, so that we can see how the colors work. So now that we have the material and the background and everything, it's time to create the animation for this tone. If you take a look at our reference of the one that we are going to create, you can see that the colors are changing, and we have a lot of things going on here. We have the lights going in circles around the object that we are going to do on the next lesson, but you can also see that the colors are really changing. They turn from yellow to orange, and they go around and around and around. And to create that, it's actually really easy. All you have to do is to animate the gradient attribute on the material. Now, before we do this, I'm assuming that you know how to animate here on Cinema 4D, but just in case, I'm going to make a really quick guide to how to animate here on Cinema 4D. So create a new document. Let's close this, and let's say that you have a sphere, and if you click on the sphere, you have the coordinates, and on the coordinates you have the position. You have the X position, which is this one, the horizontal one, the Y position, and the Z position. Now you can animate this. And how do we animate on Cinema 4D? Let's say that you have 90 frames for your animation, and you are right now on your frame 0. Here on the timeline, you can see that we have the timeline here, the pointer, and I'm on frame 0. So I want this sphere to go from this point to this point. That will be the animation, a really simple animation from here to here. So I have this position. You can see the position here is minus 220. So to animate that, all I have to do is to click here on this button. You can see that all the attributes have a little button to the left side. I'm going to click here, and now this button has turned red, which means that it's recording something. It's just like on After Effects when we create a keyframe. We just created a keyframe. Now you can take a look here. You can see here that we created a blue square, and that is the keyframe for the position. Now if you move along the timeline, you can see that the red circle has turned into a red stroke circle. Not a filled circle, but a stroke circle. That means that we can record another position on this keyframe. So I'm going to move to the frame 19, and you can see that we have this. Now if I change the position here, you can see that it has turned yellow. When it's yellow, it means that we changed this attribute, but we haven't recorded any keyframe. So when we are on this stage, all we have to do is to click again, and now we have a motion path here. You can see that we have another keyframe here and another one here. So the sphere will go from one point to the other point in exactly 90 frames. Let's hit play, and it will go like this. Pretty simple stuff. If you know anything about animation, this will be really simple. Now Let's go again to our Happy New Year, and let's open again the gradient. Now you can see that the gradient attribute here for the material also have this recording button. So that means that we can animate the gradient, we can animate the type of gradient, we can animate the cycle, the turbulence, we can animate a lot of stuff. So that's pretty cool, that's pretty amazing, because we can create a lot of things with it. So what we need to do now is to create the animation. I want an animation where this gradient goes from here to this point until it turns orange, and then go back to the original point. So that is what I'm going to do. So let's set the frame to 0 and open up the gradient and create a keyframe here by clicking on the button on the left side of gradient, and we have a keyframe now. Now go to the frame 45, and I'm going to move the left handle, the one that has the orange color, and I'm going to move it all the way almost to the right side, like this. Now record this change by clicking here. You can see that it will move along. I'm not doing anything but just clicking on play. Now on the final frame, which is the frame 19, I want to change this to the original position. Now click here. So now we have, it goes from the left to the right and then again to the left. So that's my animation. So we can close this, and let's take a look at how it looks. We have this. Now if we move, it's turning orange, completely orange. It will turn orange again, and now it's going back to yellow. So that's how you create this effect where it's turned orange and then yellow again. It's pretty cool, and it may seem, if you look at this, you may think that, well, maybe we have some orange light going around the objects or some yellow light going around the objects, and we can also do it that way, but this way that I'm showing, it's way easier now. So that's it for the material and the material animation, and now it's time to create some lights, which will be really fun. See you in the next lesson.